Hey, welcome back to Cards and Comics. How you guys doing? Today is the first in a series of videos I'm going to put together discussing my Alex Schomburg collection. And I thought I would start it off with the two books I purchased that started me on this path. Now, I will put a caveat here is I owned a prior Schomburg book not knowing what it was. And um, and I had got it in a collection, and I thought it was a cool cover, and it was a Black Terror cover, but I knew nothing about Golden Age, and I was at a comic book show in Albany, and there's a dealer there who really specializes in Silver Age and Golden Age keys. And as I was talking to him about purchasing a giant size X-Men 1, an Incredible Hulk 181, and all these keys I was looking for. He asked, like, have you ever you know looked at Golden Age? And I said, no, I don't really know much about Golden Age. He said, well, there's one name that you should be familiar with, and it's Alex Schomburg. And then he started showing me some Alex Schomburg books, and I'm like, man, these are some of the coolest books ever. And he said they are incredibly collectible. And he said, like he thought that it was these comics were going to go way up. And he said the cool thing about Schomburg books is that they all aren't mainstream heroes, and you can get a collection at a good price. And I said, well, what do you have? And besides the one book that I actually bought, which is the second book I'll show you. And he showed me a few other books, and I picked out this other book. And so these two books started me on this journey. And I don't have a total yet for you. I think I've hit 100 Schomburg books. Maybe. I got to go back through them. A lot of them are ungraded, so I don't have 100 graded Schomburg books, but I definitely have hit a number. I just got another one the other day. I should go and count them, but I definitely have gotten quite a few after this. So it started a big collection for me, and it's kind of my passion in comics right now. So the first I'm going to show you here is Human Torch number 15. And this is really when I saw this book. Again, it was the second book I bought. It wasn't the first. But, I just thought, I looked at this cover and I went like, wow, that is just insanity. I mean, if you look at the cover, there's so much going on. And this, introduced me to the kind of the first phase of Alex Schomburg, which is these just insane covers and the incredible level of detail. I mean, from the bubbles in the cauldron to this like hatchet flying in the air, to this guy, down here. I mean, it's just there's so much going on. He took so much time to draw every little thing. The knives, the guns. This dude's got a shovel. I guess they were shoveling coal. Um, but it just such a classic, Schomburg book, and it got me introduced to kind of this style. And now anyone who knows Schomburg knows that he changed his style later on, and his style later on was as good or better in my opinion. I don't think there's a wrong way to collect Schomburg or to think like his airbrush covers are better or worse. It's just he modified his style and did something just as artistic and good as these covers. And I get people who love the Nazi World War II content covers or kind of these generic hooded you know figures, but I love both, and so I'm not going to sit here and say like, well, this is the classic Schomburg style that everyone loves. This is a style that people remember him, especially with the Marvel books. If you're a Marvel collector, these are the styles because he didn't really do that style of painting for Marvel. He did that for other companies, but you don't. I'm not aware of him doing any of that for Marvel. So this is the first book. There's no real keys to this book. It's just a 1944 cover. I mean, as far as the year 1944. But again, it's just a beautiful book. It's a 4.0, which I think, at this time period is a great grade. Okay, now the next book is probably my most expensive book. I think I don't know how to really price it, so it is definitely a book I picked up. Um, I don't want to say by mistake because that doesn't quite cover it. It's just I bought it because I fell in love with the cover, and so I didn't realize just how collectible or how sought after the book was until a few other dealers and collectors clued me in that this was one of of his favorite, from collector standpoint, covers, and quite rare in the grade that I have it in. So I'll flip it over, and it is Captain America 27 in a 6.0. Um, I like that it says on the book classic cover. I think that's really understatement here. And after a lot of years of actually, understanding, Schomburg and why this is such a big book, it's just because it again, it encapsulates everything about, you know, Schomburg and the people who love his books, and captures all the content, between Captain America, World War II, tanks, planes, motorcycles. It's literally, loaded with every kind of imagery that you would want for this time period, and so it's exactly what the collectors want, and it's all encapsulated into one book, and yeah, and it's just and again, I'll use the word lucked. I lucked into it. I will 100% agree with anyone who says that, because I wasn't looking to buy this book. I was looking for Silver Age keys, and the dealer sort of talked me into it and didn't really have to push too hard. I will say that. Um, and it just really spoke to me, and it opened up a new world of collecting. And I really appreciate dealers like that who, he wasn't trying to get me to buy a book. I mean, I was buying the Hulk and the giant size X-Men. Like, he was making money. It wasn't like he was saying, like, don't buy that giant size X-Men, buy this Schomburg book. I bought those books too. Um, but it just, he opened my eyes up to something that was, to me, timeless. And again, this is without a doubt, I think, one of my most expensive books, and it's just my favorite. And I think, whenever I sell my collection, or whenever it comes time to downsize, this will be probably last on the list. So as I go through I actually have some other Schomburg books that some people might argue is more important, or in some cases more valuable. I think the reason why this is more valuable to me, not only because it's got some sentimental value, but it's just a pretty good grade. 6.0 is a really tough grade for this book, and I think anyone would agree that the color and the gloss on this book is really high. And I'll show you the back. Again, the back doesn't have molding, and it's still pretty nice. It is off-white to white pages, so that's pretty good. So just, in all, it's just a really, again, it's hard to over compliment the book. It's just, it's such a important part of my collection. And, without it, I don't think I would have been as passionate, because trying to get this book now would be, I think, virtually impossible for me to even afford. I don't know if a book this high is sold in a long time. And if it has, it's probably a heritage type auction, and it won't come up on eBay for the most part. I wouldn't believe. Even if it was, it would be outside my price range. So I started out with these two books because they were the first, and arguably this is the best. I've got a lot more books to show as I go through my Schomburg collection, but I wanted to start with these two, and hope you liked it. And let me know if you want to see more books. And but yeah, I just want to share these because again, very special, and I hope you like them. Thanks. Bye.